And moving on to my favorite personal Star Wars movie of all time, Empire Strikes Back.
You know, arguably, a lot of fans consider it the greatest Star Wars movie ever told.
Or as Bro Science would call, The Empire Lives Back.
What? Look, bro.
Yeah, so in this one, you started off, and all the shit that from the previous one happened, obviously, and we're on this snowy-ass planet right there, and we start off first thing with some action, thank you, with some great-ass action going on. The Abominable Snowman comes out of fucking nowhere, which he's cool as shit. He's awesome. It's the Abominable Snowman!
It's Wampa.
It's Jack Frost. And you got
goddamn Michael Keaton. He's everywhere.
You got this badass scene where you get to see the lightsaber get used a little bit. You get some great moments between Hans Gruber from My Heart.
Hans Gruber.
Great moments of Han Solo.
That was Hans Gruber's brother.
And Leia. And that's the perfect microcosm of their relationship right there. He's like, I'm leaving. And she comes out, you're done with the girl. You're like, I'm going home. You don't want me? What do you want?
Oh, I love that scene when they're walking in. Yeah, he was like, well, so long, Prince, don't get all mushy on me. And then she was like, Han, he goes, we need you. He goes like, we need. He's like, what about you need?
Yeah.
He's like, what? He's like, I know you want to say it, just say you want to fuck. And then she's like, goes, you're a great pilot. He's like, that's not what I mean.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah, it's so cool. I love that. I love Han in this movie.
But you also get the great brodom between Han Solo and Luke right there, because when he goes to save him and he cuts open that camel thing or whatever, and it's all maggoty and ooey, he's like, and I thought these things smelled bad when they were alive.
You know what? I'm getting geeky with it. I know all these fucking names. I should reveal this stuff. Like, I know they're Tauntaun. But anyway, yeah, but I love that scene when he was like, he goes, your Tauntaun will die before you save it. He goes, then I'll see you in hell. Like, you know what? That scene right there, the way he said that, it kind of reminded me of Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
The way that he said it. And that's why another thing, because like people that are bitching that they, I think they say in the trilogy or the new ones, there's somebody cusses, they say hell, and people are getting offended, or they say damn. They said hell in Empire Strikes Back, and Han actually said damn or something at one point. So it's fine, it's been done, it's okay.
Yeah.
It was done by the original G, Han Solo, so everybody can relax your cracks, sweetheart.
And ultimately that ends up in like Vader shows up. Like he fucking shows up and starts walking down there looking for them shit, and you're like, holy shit, shit's gonna get
Daddy's home.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked it. And also, you see the first time Obi-Wan comes back, Alec Guinness, great actor, by the way. We didn't mention how good of an actor he is in the first one. He's a fucking awesome actor. You see the ghostly appearance of him.
Ben?
He just never gets. Anybody named Ben always dies, apparently. But anyway, so he shows up and tells Luke to go to the Dagobah system and learn from Yoda, which is cool. You see the first time ghostly appearance. You also see the AT-AT walkers, the big giant Empire walkers, which is fucking awesome.
Oh
you also see the ruthlessness of Vader when he keeps choking out his own bed.
That's just hilarious, dude.
It's like, damn, bro. He was like, don't fail me again, Admiral.
My wife had to go get blood taken yesterday because she's pregnant or whatever, and I told her, I was like, when she's taking your blood, I was like, I'm gonna look at you and be like, I find your lack of faith disturbing, and I'm gonna go like this, and you should go.
He was like,
she's taking your blood. That's the classic fucking scene, though.
He was like, they were alerted to our presence. Like, he's came out of light speed too early. And he was like, well, he thought a surprise attack. He's like, he is as clumsy as he is foolish. And then he chokes his ass out. He's like, and then he fucking promotes the guy right next to him. If I was that guy, I'm like, fuck this.
His face said that. He was like,
I'd have been like the face. I would have been the dude, like the faceless guy that's typing up. It was like that guy. That guy's a tactical genius.
That guy's playing Gallagher.
Don't think I didn't see you, because I did. But I like but it was the ruthlessness. Like, it just shows, like, he's just choking his own fucking people out. He doesn't care.
He's in his own, and he's shooting on that perfectly. Him, and I think both Vader and Solo had their best moments in this movie, because Solo, like, not just like when he goes to save Luke, so you see what a good guy is. You see the stuff between him and Leia. And all that stuff going on, and then you got the stuff where he's flying the ship through the asteroid field and all that. And she's like, you know, one of these days you're gonna be wrong. I'm gonna be there to see it. Like the whole way that he's just like fuck everybody. Like you see full on Han Solo in this movie more than any of the other ones.
I like when he was when she falls back in his arms and she was like, let go. He's like, wait, shh. And then she was like, please let go. He's like, don't get excited. I love that. I was like, damn.
It's a total far cry from Hayden Christensen in the previous one. Her saying, you make me uncomfortable. I feel like if she said that to Han Solo, he'd be like, well, okay.
Han Solo could get any bitch, anybody. He's the kind of guy, the kind of dude that like guys want to be and girls want to be with. He could go to the bar and hang out, and he'd have like 18,000 people around him. Exactly. But you know what? They definitely developed Harrison Ford's character a lot more in this with Han Solo. This is where Han Solo shines. Like, this it could have been just called Han Solo Strikes Back. Yeah. But I mean, of course, you have Vader too, and the Empire. And it is a very dark movie as far as like the trilogy is concerned.
I feel like Spaceballs pulled more from this movie than they did. You know, when I'm watching, I always get confused and I think about Bill Pullman and Spaceballs and stuff. But also when they show on not the Death Star. What is it that they're on this time?
That was a Super Star Destroyer. They weren't really on anything.
The Star Destroyer, when they're on it, like the camera's always really close to people. They're always like this. You know what I mean? Like it's always a little bit too close and weird, but it's perfect.
And then let's talk about, and I want to mention this really quick, and I've actually done the research on this, so I won't talk about it. Luke and Leia, when they kiss, okay? Let's talk about it really quick. Because there was questions about that. They're like, did Lucas know, or what the fuck was going on? Has he ever been questioned about? Here's the actual truth, and I didn't know this. Leia was never intended to be Luke's sister. Luke's sister, because The Empire Strikes Back, which is it's so crazy what you can find out if you research. The internet never lies. But the original script for Empire Strikes Back was turned in by this lady, and she died of cancer before she could talk it over with Lucas. But it was a totally different movie. Apparently, in The Empire Strikes Back original screenplay, Leia's was not Luke's sister. Luke's sister was going to show up in episode 7, 8, or 9. And then Darth Vader was never his father either.
Oh.
Darth Vader, because this is the craziest shit. Darth Vader still tries to recruit him and say we'll rule the galaxy together as allies, not as father and son. The actual Anakin Skywalker appears to him on Dagobah as a ghost and tells him that he hid Leia or him and his sister away when they were younger. So it was a totally different fucking movie.
Crazy.
So they said that at the end, Lucas did not want to make 7, 8, or 9, so he just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna make Leia his sister, and I'm gonna make Vader the father, and then I'm just gonna end it like that." Which, if Vader like that, I think that was one of the coolest things in the world. Yeah. Like having Vader as the father. I wish Vader was my dad. If that had been like, I'm your father, I would have screamed no. I'd be like, yes!
Like you said, when I was a kid, I was all about Skywalker, and now I'm all about the dark side. Like, I think they're cool as shit. But not like killing people.
Okay, let's talk about, we talk about that whole thing. Okay, and Vader's awesome in it. Han Solo's awesome in it. Right. Mark Hamill's grown again. You introduced to Yoda.
Yeah, and that's a whole scene right there. They go to Bodega, right?
Bodega.
It's a half baked. He's one half baked when he goes to the Bodega. He's like, "Hey, black ass."
When you say Bodega, I think it's Jamaican Island. It was a warm planet.
Whatever. You're more about the shit. Yeah. But they go over there and like that's like a 3-act thing. You got the awesome stuff on the snowy planet, and then you got the awesome stuff in the marshy planet. Then they go out, but when they're in the marshy planet, and then Yoda comes out, and he's like this idiot fucking thing. And
I think you're saying Martian, but you mean marsh.
Marshy.
Like no.
Lagoon.
Yeah, lagoon.
Like.
But you're saying Martian, like, is it red?
But you also get the training of Luke in the sea, and that's badass.
And
it's so cool.
And the whole thing with Yoda telling him that, when he goes to the cave and he fights himself, and that, everybody can understand why that happened.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I loved it. And the whole thing with Yoda being crazy, I remember somebody said that, it's like, so Yoda go fucking stupid crazy, like he's been locked away for so long, he forgot. And like, no, he's fucking testing Luke's patience, and then, he was like, he has too much of his father, and which was cool, because now we've seen the prequels, we know Luke's impatient, and he's rushed, and he's rash, and he's reckless, and he wants to get it done. He's like, hey, I gotta fucking learn this shit so I can go fight Vader and save my friends. And then Yoda's like, he's like his father. I don't want to take this chance again. And Obi-Wan's like, no, he's different. I thought that was cool as hell. You're also introduced to another fucking ladies' man, Lando Calrissian.
It's a theme with these movies.
Billy D. Williams.
You're flying from plane to plane, all of a sudden something goes wrong with the ship, you got to dock, and then an adventure happens where you land. Like, that's a theme. But yeah, like, Lando, man, I like how Han Solo acts. Like, for one, when she kisses Luke, which I don't like that because, like, I think that Lucas, I know what you're saying, but Lucas always played in that. Like, you're talking about Padme and Anakin, there's that weird sexual tension between kid, and then you got in this one, like the sister making out with her brother. Like, I don't know, he always liked to play in that weird.
I know. I think somebody was also talking about, like, I mean, it makes sense if they weren't going to be brother and sister.
Right.
But now that you know they're the brother and sister, I think it was like, I think somebody retconned it and said, okay, the fact is, she was not sexually attracted to Luke. It was that twin thing that they were like close, but she was just doing it to make Han jealous.
Right, but which is what I was saying. Like, I love Han's reaction to stuff like this, because like for one, when she made out with Luke and she like looked at him, instead of getting mad at Luke, like he did the perfect bro thing, he was like, "Take it easy."
He's like, but anyway, because he was like, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah. And then when it comes to Lando, like he starts like trying to get cute with her or whatever, and Han's just like, he doesn't even care.
I like when
he cares, but he doesn't.
Han's got that smooth thing going with him. He's like this. He's like hanging out in the back, and he's like, I know he's trying to make a move on my woman, but I got a big dick. So I got my shit. And but he's like, you old smoothie, and like he takes him. But yeah, I love Billy D. Williams. I love that Lando Calrissian. And you have the big betrayal in Cloud City. Like I remember watching that, I was like, damn, that sucks. I mean, that was his fucking friend for years, and then he betrays him to the Emperor and Vader. And Vader, I actually love that scene though when you see, because before that you'd never seen Han Solo confront Vader.
Yeah.
They'd never been in the scene together, but he fucking, right away, as badass that he is, he pulls that gun, he's like, fuck this shit.
Yeah, that's badass. And that whole scene's cool. Like, you really, like, you finally get to mix these people in, like these characters. Like in the first one, it's so good, but they're all so far away from each other. Yeah. Empire pulls them all together.
Oh god!
Like the one-on-one scene at the end between Luke and Darth Vader. You got the Han Solo scene in that, and then they torture him. And I like how he's like, he didn't even ask me any questions.
I love that. Yeah.
This movie's so fucking cool. Like it's seeing your favorite. It's like seeing like LeBron James play Kobe Bryant one-on-one, like times 1,000.
I like that. Cool. I also liked when he was talking to Lando, and he was like, because Han just had this fucking like grittiness about him, because he's like, "What's going on, buddy?" Like, I'm like, "Yeah, you pissed. You still mad." Mm-hmm. And if I'd been Lando's like, "Why are you mad for, bro? I'm gonna take care of your woman. She's gonna stay in the cloud too." But I love Vader's ruthlessness and his relentlessness. He was like, "Take the Wookiee and the princess aboard my ship." And he's like, "You said they were gonna stay here." He's like, "Pray I don't alter our deal further." I'm like, "Wow." Yeah. It's like you would be. You know who that was in the costume? That was Donald Trump. It was fucking Donald Trump. He's making deals left and right. He's changing shit as he goes. That's fucking like it was. But it was just ruthless. And I love Vader at this point was the most ruthless guy that you could have as the bad guy. Like, it was just the ultimate bad guy.
You see the Emperor finally, you get
in the little, yeah.
Shit going on. But yeah, I agree with you. Like, everyone's character's shown best in this movie out of all of them. And then,
but I still think it's Vader and Han's movie. Like, I think this is like their fucking shining.
And that's everybody's really favorite, if you ask me. But and then you go on, and finally they meet back up, right? Like, it's a perfect situation. They go to Lando's planet, they get them captured, and then Luke's gonna come save everybody, even though it's against Yoda and them's wishes. And it's cool. Like, this is the one thing that's cool about the prequels, is because when Obi-Wan and Yoda are talking to Luke on the planet, and they're like, we don't want to see what happened to Vader happen to you. On Bodega, where you buy pot at a weird gas station.
Weird stuff.
When they're talking, we don't want you to go. We don't want to see the same thing happen to you. Automatically, you think of Revenge of the Sith.
I never before the prequels ever came out. When I always thought it was cool when he's taking off, and you see the floodlights coming on as he's going up, and Obi-Wan disappears. He's like, that boy is our last hope. He's like, no, there's another. Yeah. About the sister, that was always cool to me. But yeah, now because you see the prequels, you got that backstory. It was like he's like I can't. It's so cool. I love the emotion because Obi-Wan is really, and Yoda is begging him to say, is like, you're not ready to confront what's going to happen. Yeah. Like they knew that Vader was the father, and that if he told him that, he would not be ready to deal with the emotional turmoil. And
I also love, one of my favorite things about this is like that really strikes to the human nature is that, and going fucking deep with this shit right now, is that when Luke lands on Bodega, and he lands there, and he finally is like, he didn't go help his friends. Like, he decided to go here because the vision that he had, like, was he just tripping out? What was going on? He sits there, and the X-Fighter sinks or whatever, and he's sitting there, and he's like, what am I doing, R2-D2? And he actually has that moment of introspection. Is like, am I just crazy? It's like the movie saying, if you're a person who knows what you're supposed to do with your life, and you have these strong convictions, but everybody's telling you you're wrong, are you really crazy, or should you just go? It's that pure dark side, good side stuff.
That's weird, because I didn't know that Tony Robbins wrote a script.
Fuck you!
I was like, no, I get what you're saying, though. There was the introspection.
You must do what you must do,
and
no matter what.
He questioned himself. He questioned his motives. Like, should I be out there helping my friends? Should I be out there trying to stop the Empire being more prior? Why the fuck am I here?
Costs, he's following what he believes in.
Why am I here in Louisiana?
And I think that shit.
It looked like Louisiana's planet. Is there gators? But it was like, why am I fucking here looking for an old ass Jedi master to do this shit? I don't even know if I want to do that. Like, no, Dad, I don't want to do what you do. But yeah, it was cool to see that. And then of course you got the big Vader reveal. He's the father.
And one of the greatest scenes of all time.
I love it.
And I love it. It's the good guy. Finally, you got planets, you got fucking Yoda, you got all this shit in between, right? Mm-hmm. Finally, you get one-on-one. We're in a fucking room alone together. Let's hug it out, bitch, and see what happens. And then you finally get Vader versus Luke alone, and it pays off.
Oh, God, yeah. When he's hanging out and finally...
They play for keeps.
When the Vader reveal comes... The emotion that Luke screams, it's awesome. Like, it's so well done, and it's so you can feel it. You're like, this is like the worst thing that he could possibly think of. Yeah. He thought his father was a hero. The Anakin Skywalker was supposed to be this great Jedi Knight that got slain by Darth Vader, but in his prime. But no, it's the fucking guy. Like, you're the reason why and you just feel like all the stuff coming out is like, you're the reason why my mother's not here, why I was separated and I'm lived on this shitty backwater planet. I didn't know my father. All this, you're the reason. Like, all that stuff. Like, it was so fucking cool.
And then even after that scene, when he lets go and he uses the Force to get himself in that little poop chute, and he falls out. It's like, again, I go back to when you're playing with your toys as a kid. And
you say play with your dinghy.
You've got the John McClane type syndrome where the hero's beaten up. He's got his fucking arm cut off. he's hanging off of a fucking spaceship with one arm,
That's
right?
scary, dude.
And like alone in the universe, and he's got all this shit going on. It's like you can't get any lower than that, and it's so cool to see your hero in that broken down state where you know he has to come back from the bottom, and you got a whole new movie to come after that.
Yeah, we started from the bottom, now we're here. But, yeah, I can see that, dude. Though. Like, I don't know if I was like. Yeah, your fucking hand just got cut off and cauterized. Thank God for the lightsaber because it's cauterized, it's not bleeding out. But you're hanging on this fucking like antenna. The thing closes up, and the only thing you can go is Leia. It was like, you know, I know that somebody like in the generation of today is gonna be like, "Why didn't you use a cell phone?" It's like, I know he got a signal because he's right on it.
At the same time, if it was the prequel, he would have just let go, and then 3,000 years later to see Obi-Wan would have been like, "Oh, I'm magically here to."
Fucking Jar Jar Binks would have come up on a hoverboard.
Misa got to.
Misa, I gotta let you go.
Misa Pop.
I swear to God, if I ever make a lightsaber, my shit's gonna be able, when I fucking turn it off, I can pull out a fucking dial pad, like, "Hey, what's up? Guess what? I'm fucking stuck on an antenna. Can you fucking come get me?"
I called you, I'm like, "Dude, no, seriously, I'm in a bad situation. You need to come now."
You need to. I'm hanging. Like, where are you at?
Like, dude, just let me get a shower. I'm like, "No, dude, just get the fuck out right now."
I'm hanging on a fucking antenna. it's like, wow, okay. And like, but that was a cool scene though. He was like, "Leia, hear me." And that again, this was before Leia was his sister, so there was that whole weird, triangle thing. But later on, it makes sense. It's his twin sister, so she can hear, and she has the Force. So that was cool as fuck. Lando comes up there, they rescue him. The movie ends on a dour note, okay? It ends on a kind of a sad, soury note. I don't know why I felt like Ripken. But it does. Han's gone. He gets kidnapped. Carbonate. Boba Fett. By the way, you didn't mention Boba Fett.
Huh.
Boba Fett. He's in this. He's introduced. Jango Fett's kid. We know about him now.
Yeah.
I like Boba Fett, but I was never like a hardcore Boba Fett fan.
It was too vague.
Like everybody loves Boba Fett. Like they're like, "Boba Fett, fuck yeah, I'm gonna be Boba Fett." I'm like, okay, he's got a jetpack, but he doesn't really do much. Like he just hangs out with Vader. Anyway, I don't know.
I think it's so cool because without having to say it, you just know he's a badass.
Yeah. He's cool as shit. Yeah, he's
a strong silent type.
I just wanted him to hold me in his arms. But okay, so Han's kidnapped. He's going away to Jabba's palace. Luke's got his new hand, and they're sitting on there. They don't know where Han is. Well, they know he's on Tatooine. They're going to go rescue him. Lando takes off with Chewbacca. And that's the way the movie ends. You just see, Luke wraps his arm around his sister. You made out with your sister, bro!
Euro trip.
Yeah, but he wraps his arm around her, and that's the way the movie ends. Yeah. And I remember Clark's. Yeah. Because he's like, that's what life is. Just one series of a letdown after another. I'm like, shit, dude. I didn't read that much into it, but it is a cool ending. Yeah. The ending is great. And I can definitely see if somebody's like, this is the greatest Star Wars movie ever put out.
It is to me.
I can see it.
It's a 10.5 for me.
The Force will be with you.
I love this movie.
I'm going to give this like a 9.5 or... No, I'll give it a 10.
You gotta give it a 10.
No, I'll give it a 10. I don't even want to think... lightsabers. No, I'll give it a 10. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to save you guys the fucking suspense. The trilogies get 10. Like, it's not going to be a new one. It's going to be 10 but for 2 men. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 10 as well. Nothing wrong with the movie. Again, I've watched it several times. The only thing I will say about it is kind of... the adventure that we talk about in Star Wars, in The New Hope, the adventure's not there. Like it's there, the adventure, the excitement, more one-on-one. But it is more. It is definitely. It takes a step in a darker path.
Yeah, where the original movie is like Risk, this is like Mortal Kombat.
Damn, there were fatalities. I missed it.
On to the final
return of. We watched the movie in a minute.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie.